Good evening. Welcome. Thank you for being patient while we did the last minute logistics that we usually end up doing. I understand tonight we're competing with a concert that was supposed to happen at Cooper's Beach yesterday that I think has been moved to today at Agawam Park. So it's more of an elite group that we have here. We should all be happy about that. I want to start by thanking so many of you who came out to vote in our library district vote. And with your votes, we had our budget passed, which is wonderful news. Yay! Thanks to you for doing that. Also like to thank the Friends of the Library whose funding makes all of these concerts possible. Virtually all the concerts we do all year round possible. So, and I know many of you are friends, and it's your memberships and your donations to the book sales that make this possible. So thanks to all of you. We're delighted tonight to end our so-called concerts on the patio, which we may not call it that next year, with a visit from one of our favorite performers, Inda Eaton. And many of you know Inda, but for those of you who don't, I'll tell you a few things about her. She is a globe-trotting singer-songwriter, and she's based in East Hampton. Her knack for creating crafty hooks, meaningful lyrics, and killer harmonies has found favor with fans of rock, country, and acoustic music all over the world since she started touring in 1996. Inda started studying classical piano at a young age, but as soon as a 6-string guitar fell into her hands, her future was sealed. The troubadour then traveled the globe, strumming everywhere from Latin America to the Australian outback back to Germany. Inda returned stateside to pour herself into a music career, but not before contracting cerebral malaria on a trek through Africa. Though friends joke that her near-death detour made her slightly narcoleptic, it fully awakened her to her path in music. While recuperating in Wyoming, Inda recorded her first album, which was titled Thin Fine Line. And 2 years later, she headed to New Orleans to record her second album, Never Too Late to Fly, which features members of the Subdudes and the Radiators. Over the years, she has toured extensively, opening for names like John Hyatt, Blues Traveler, and Earl Scruggs. Her studio recordings have garnered critical acclaim and have promoted her to release several more albums and continue touring on her own. Go West is her 8th independently produced album. I believe we have some albums that she will be selling at our short intermission. And she is now currently working on the next album project. We have actually had Inda here at the Rogers Memorial Library, thanks to Hillary Woodward, who is here this evening, who is the person who introduced Inda to us. So thank you, Hillary. Please welcome Inda Eaton.
Knee surgery. So I'm doing good. Let's see here. I screwed this up. Let's move this out. It was a little more extensive than they thought. I was just to be a 3-day thing, and then they did a little more, and so it's turned into 2 weeks. So, and greetings. I didn't even know we had you guys out there. Hello. It's nice out there. I hope you're getting liquored up on the water. Let's see here. There we go. I'm in. Got my seatbelt. So I thought this would be good training to come to the library and spend some time with y'all. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. On my right, we've got Jeff Marshall, and Jeff is over in Sag Harbor, and we're going to talk, well, I really don't know what we're going to talk about. I got an idea, but we're going to get to know Jeff better. What I thought we'd do, is play some music and then just get acquainted. Wait, we're gonna get to you guys. I've been training all week. I've been show binging, and it's good to. If I didn't come out in public tonight, I'd probably save me, because you can't show binge for so long. You lose your grip on reality. And I shouldn't even say that in the library, because we should all be reading books. And that's probably the thing, is I should have been recovering with the book, but I did not. I started binging on that Netflix and that HBO Go. And I tried to read a book of short stories, and I think I read 2. And that's it. I've just been show binging. So this probably saved me from myself. And just admit it. How many of you show binge ever? A little bit? Yeah. We've all been there. Hi, my name's Inda, and I'm a show binger. So I see some familiar faces, and I see some new faces. So I'm a singer-songwriter. I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of performing. And when I'm not doing that, I do a lot of teaching in school systems to write, produce, and record. And I thought tonight, since we have an intimate group, that we talk a little bit about songwriting. You know, Penny mentioned Hillary, and Hillary and I worked together on songwriting. It's one of my favorite things. And I'm going to play something, and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I've got it all figured out. We're in the welcome. This is Act 1. Let's do a little cowgirl. I'm from Wyoming, and so I'm going to play you a little Western song, and then we'll... Anybody from the West? Like what? Like Poughkeepsie? like, let me get Midwest?
No.
Where?
Oregon.
The whole crowd went, oh. Where are you from? Oh, okay. Like Albuquerque, Santa Fe area? Okay, that totally counts. Okay, so Oregon. You've out-wested me. Kinda. Texas is its own thing. Texas is kind of its own universe. You're just from Texas. That's not from the West, that's just Texas.
But it's got to be West.
You're West Texas, and it's kind of like California. Probably could just do well on its own. There's certain states that don't need other states, and Texas is one of them. And maybe we'll do a little Texas song for you as we go on. So I'm going to play you a little Wyoming idea, and then we'll get acquainted here. Check, check, check. You know, Chris, do me a favor. In here, look for balance here first, and then we'll figure out volume from the outside. Shores, there was a girl touched by the sun, looking for a cowboy. In a western town, there was a man with a fresh force, looking for a savior, didn't know the horse. Oh, guitar? Okay. And I know I'm having the whole thing because I can't really bend my knee, and so I'm having the whole, this is a new world for me. I know, and I'll tell you what, that's another thing, like when you're down for the count, you make all these plans. Oh, when I'm going to go do this, I'm going to become a better guitar player, and we have all these things we're going to do when we're down and out, and really all you end up doing when you're down is out and being down and out. So, I know, I was going to sit there, I tried the guitar one day on the couch, and it's not really a couchable thing. And so I thought, what is this show going to be about? And I thought that's what the show's going to be about, is that I've been really kind of static, which is, I'm not used to that. And I don't write all my songs from that perspective. I don't just sit on the epic and just write a song. I'm a wanderluster. A lot of my songs have to do with geography. Sometimes there's a static point of view as a writer, but it's usually after a memory of geography or wanderlust. So I thought, Penny has you have a pretty good strict program on the timing, so I thought the first half, she's smiling, she runs a tight ship. So I'm just going to tell you, we're going to have two halves. We have the first half, and we're going to take a 7-minute break, no more, no less. Penny's going to get that happening. We're going to have refreshments. You don't get much. You get a little shot of lemonade and you keep it moving for 7 minutes. And then, and you poor people in that humidity, you take all the lemonade you need. You're in tough times out there. If you want to get on that, you're okay. And then we'll have a second half of the program. And then we're out of here like no later than the program's ending, and we'll be refreshed. And Penny told me this is Southampton Library. This is how things run. Okay. So what I thought was, I love you, Penny, because you run a tight ship, and that's how these things. And because of you, let's hear from Penny, who brings all this program. Business, you have to run a tight ship. I know it looks like we all slackers and partying and throwing the tables through the windows, but we got to keep a tight ship. So
We like it.
Yeah. Doesn't Jeff look like he's dressed to throw a coffee table out the window? I did say he looks a little preppy, but that's all right. I was going to rip his sleeves off and dirty him up. So I thought we'd take a look. And so I just played you, obviously, kind of a geographical song. I thought we'd look at geographical songwriting when you're totally in wanderlust. Then I thought we'd take a look at kind of more point of view when you're out of the field. I love the field for inspiration. I'll never be an artist who just sits at home on the couch show binging, although you can get some ideas. And then there's the medium, where it's like the memory from the field, and you're at home and you're distilling these random thoughts as a songwriter. So I thought that'd be the second half after we get liquored up on the lemonade. So what I want to do, we're going to make this more geographical. I'm going to play this one. It's called Route 66. And when we had this record that came out at Go West, we toured it from sea to shining sea, because a lot of the musicians had lived all over the country. And it wasn't really planned that, we're going to do a Route 66 thing. It just happened that was the route. And I spent most of it with my bass player in a motorhome going across, at that point, from Milwaukee down to Arizona, where everybody joined us. And it was one of those things like, oh my God, we're on Route 66. And so, isn't that something? And so I didn't sit there and write a song, but when I came home, it was like, I think Route 66 captures all of our imaginations. This was my take. Here's a song about Route 66. No, it's similar. Driving around on our own, seeing the country in a motorhome. Would you settle down here? Could you have my baby in this town? Past the shore with some tank of gas, standing at the pump zone, out-minded one. thrill you, it's true. The road it changes you. The road it changes you. From St. Louis down to Oklahoma, Albuquerque to Phoenix, Arizona. I flew all night in my mind just to get on home to you. Camped out in Southern California, over the Rockies along the Milwaukee. I drove all night in my mind just to get on home to you. From St. Louis down to Oklahoma, Albuquerque to Phoenix, Arizona. I drove all night in my mind just to get on home to you. Camped out in Southern California, over the Rockies along the Milwaukee. I drove all night in my mind just to get on home to you. From St. Louis down to Oklahoma, Albuquerque to Phoenix, Arizona. I drove all night in my mind just to get on home to you. Camped out in Southern California, over the Rockies along the Milwaukee. I drove all night in my mind just to get on home to you. It's the road that changes you. Oh, the road that changes you. The road that changes you. Thank you. I don't think that one, you know, a lot of times when you write a song, you feel like, you know, it worked a lot with students, and, you know, it's like everything else. You can't write the next best song until you wrote the one before. And I don't think that we have, you know, covered new ground with that song, but it's fun. It's got an earwig to it. And I mean, you know what, going through Route 66, I didn't really feel like there was even much more. I don't know what I could have extrapolated from that. Maybe later, but I mean, the biggest thing I remember on that is there was a guy who was a wastewater management manager in Pennsylvania who retired and bought one of those cafes out there, in Dennis. And this was his dream, was to take his whole retirement and buy a cafe. And and the reason we started talking is they made good coconut cream pie. And the crust was excellent. It was, you know, there's pie and pie is God. The pie is so good, and anything less than that, you don't want to eat it. And so I went back there and I said, "What's in your crust?" And then we got to talking. He's a half butter, half Crisco guy. He learned that from a woman who taught him. But that's the kind of thing. I don't know if we really covered new ground, but it was just extolling the virtues of coconut pie. And so maybe that song doesn't have to save the world. It's just, you know, as happy as being on the road. Dennis, God love him, and it's in the middle of nowhere. You know, you're from Texas. He was kind of in close to Amarillo, and they call it the Midland Cafe because it's halfway on the Route 66. And when I tell you Nowheresville, I mean, it is tumbleweeds, and somebody's probably from that.
Did you do Amarillo in the morning?
Amarillo in the morning? Oh, those old sweet songs, right? Do you love those? Maybe I'll fake it in
I'm down at Lubbock, but I go to compare instead of playing.
Well, I thought happiness was Lubbock, Texas in my rearview mirror. My mama kept home calling me home, but I just didn't want to hear that. Mac Davis. Yeah. Well, we'll get liquored up on the lemonade, and I'll go into that.
He does good.
Is he still alive?
Oh, yeah. Streets after him. And
Oh, he's a big, right?
yeah, I think 8 years ago we did the 100th anniversary.
I love it.
100 years.
I love it. Well, God bless Mac Davis and coconut cream pie. Okay. So, this is one of my other geographical songs that I wanted to put up tonight before we turn the corner. And this is homage to where I'm from, which is Casper, Wyoming. And that is, so if you're from Albuquerque out there, you just, at 40, when it turns into 25, you just go straight up, and that's where I'm from. Yeah, right off of 25. And if you're from Oregon, that's so west. I mean, they pass through Wyoming to get to your people, the Overland Trail, the Oregon Trail. I mean, that's just, God, that's west. A rainy, beautiful deal. We'll talk at the 7-minute refreshment deal. So my town it's not very sexy. It was built more railroads so they could get the oil. They had that whole teapot oil scandal, the Teapot Dome, 40 miles outside of Casper, very close. And so Casper was built basically up so they could get the oil to the major lines. And it's a boomer bust town, always has been. A lot of homesteaders started out in Wyoming, and then they got really populated after World War II. And that's when my family came on the GI Bill, because there was work and energy. And those families have stayed on, but you always have boomer bust. And you never know if you're going to make it there. A lot of transient population, but the old families, what to you in Southampton be like, not old at all, but like, they ain't no Daughters of the Revolution, Mayflower types in Wyoming, I'm just to say. Maybe in old families like 1800s, I mean, it's not, because it just was not habitable to live. And so if you're there since World War II when things turned around, that's old. That's the West. We live in grids. Everything's north, south, east, west. It's very simple. And this is Casper. Driving into Casper off the exit out of Drive, looking for a lover in the middle of the night, and I have seen you in the headlights. Lights off 25. I have seen you in the faces and the smiles, and I thought that I would find you through the miles in the arms of my hometown. Too tired to call you, strung out from the road, 'cause I've lost my pride and I've lost my tribe. Now it's time to grow to the arms of my hometown for a while. Down by the river at the old Ramadi, and my grandma worked 2 shifts. She's waitressing to raise both those kids, and my other granddaddy worked the orphans. Had a business out of town while he was renting cars. And both worked hard to find redemption and passage out of town. Too tired to call you, strung out from the road, 'cause I've lost my pride and I've lost my drive. And now it's time to go to the arms of my hometown for a while. Middle of the night, I thought I saw you standing there on the exit out of Drive. I have seen you in the smiles and this kindness and the faces on this stage, yeah. And you're working hard to find redemption and a passage out of town. I'm looking at the clock, and so now we're going to get off of geography and more static point of view. And the thing is, and I was joking about starting with the ballad, we're going to sing you a song about Casper. I think as a songwriter, much like every other distillation in the arts we see, there's so many filters that your song goes through. And I think when you start writing songs, it's very literal. Almost a ballad is one of the easier ways to just get the reality out to a beat and to a melody. Everybody asks, it's a good question, do you write melodically? Do you write lyrics? Do you write with a beat? I do all. It just depends on where you're stuck. You know, I don't always have a guitar or a piano, and so, are they coming for you? I don't know. Turn that off. We in Penny's house, you know what I'm saying?
See, unfortunate.
I know. I get you. And the only thing I can figure out about my own songwriting is that, and I say ballads, I'm not putting that down. God, that Edmund Fitzgerald is one of the best songs ever. You know, by the time the church bell's ringing 29 times, you are crying right there with Gordon Lightfoot. And so sometimes a ballad can be the absolute best way just to say what the story is. And sometimes it's crazy what the mind does. It's like this tangential jump from one thing to the next, and then you don't even really know how that came out. And I think that's a word I've used a lot in my shows lately. It's like the adventure, the thought, the writing, this crazy-ass filter, tangential thoughts, song. And I couldn't even write a diagram on it. You just don't know how this is going to come out. But I have been noticing in this, in songwriting, sometimes you are situational. You're not in some sexy place, the Route 66. You're not in Paris. You're not in Albuquerque. You're not even at the lighthouse in Montauk. You're literally at your kitchen table. Where does that come from? And that's crazy where the mind goes. And so this one I want to play. This is definitely not geographic. This is called Move So Fast. Where does this come from? Where the hell does this come from? Well, this was a lost song, I think. But again, it doesn't come out a song like, oh, I'm going to write you a song about loss. This is what was going on. So here we go. Called Move So Fast. Lost a friend. Life's such a cost. There's no end, no, to the morning of the lost feelings on every day. And a war I can't explain, so far away from here. 'Cause I move so fast.
no pain. Better for the distance, better for the gain. Move so fast to feel nothing at all.
I've got a couple covers, and this is one cover. This is another example, I think a good one. Well, there's Tommy, we do this all day. We could just do a sit-in and have 12 hours and talk about songwriting. And Penny, maybe that's a program. It'll be like a, right?
Yep.
No way you could do a 12, right? Penny's like, I'm not coming down here. It'd be fun to do an extended class, and we do adult workshops. That's often missed. A lot of the work I do is with, any from elementary school, high school, community college, prisons. I mean, that's always good because they really are, it's like there. And, that's, when you're in the jumpsuit, honey, you're paying attention, you're very present. By the time you're in an orange jumpsuit, you will never be as present as you are at that moment. And we have good discussions. Adults, they're my other favorite. And Hillary, you're like the biggest success story. Hillary, and everybody in town knows Hillary. You're such a love. And Hillary, there's longer stories to this, but the bottom line is Hillary and I have done a lot of work together. Hillary's a writer, and she wanted to take it to the songwriting realm. And that's been so much fun. And then to work with an adult, because gosh, if we don't know something by 18 in our culture, it's done. If you never caught a ball by 18, you're never catching a ball. If you didn't pick up the paintbrush before 18, you're done. Seriously, if you didn't cook eggs by 18, it's not happening. Like, I don't know why that is. Even in college, it's like, it's cuts off before college, before university age. It's like you are set, and if you weren't that person, you're not going to be that person. It's just in who we are. And songwriting is something that it's not taken up later. And it's been so much fun to work with adults as well to explore our feelings, thoughts, and emotion through song. So this one has nothing to do with that little detour. I think this is a good example of non-geographical, not really a ballad either. I mean, this is no Edmund Fitzgerald, but it makes you feel good. I did not write it. It's written by a friend of mine, Nancy Atlas. Many of you know Nancy. And, again, she even wrote it. She said, Ann, this will kill time. Here's the song. And she said, we were on tour, and I'm writing the words down to tape on the speaker. And I'm like, this is actually really good. Some harmony. And so we took it to one of those hotel, office kiosks, which aren't worth a damn. They're broken computers, and it's never your computer. And I'm trying to dictate it to her. It's not her computer, and we're erasing it every time we try to write this thing. We finally get this crappy printer at the front desk, and I tape it to the speaker, and I've never quit playing it. I just love this. It's not a ballad. It's not geographical. It's a bit of a love song in a different way. Everybody's got a road and a bridge that they must walk upon. And everybody's got a road, sometimes too much to bear. Baby, I can feel for you, 'cause I know just what you're going through. The fire and the brimstone too.
'cause I know I've been there. Sometimes it's all too much, and sometimes it ain't enough, and sometimes giving up is better than giving in. And if you say my name, well, it's always gonna be the same. I'll come around. Some skies are aching from the start, they're crimson red from a well-bruised heart. Some skies are clearing open like the longest Texas smile. And here and there and now again, as the leaves depart and the clouds ascend, the rain feels like it will never end, 'cause the sun won't crack a smile. Sometimes it's all too much, and sometimes it ain't enough, and sometimes giving up is better than giving in. And if you say my name, well, it's always gonna be the same. I'll come running. Just like this, 'cause it's a Hail Mary that you need to throw, that's gonna keep your dream alive. And it's a Hail Mary somewhere in your soul. I'll be running from you to the other side. 'Cause sometimes it's all too much, and sometimes it ain't enough, and sometimes giving up is better than giving in. And if you say my name, well, it's always gonna be the same. I'll come running. Sometimes it's all too much, and sometimes it ain't enough, and sometimes giving up is better than giving in. And if you say my name, well, it's always gonna be the same, 'cause I'll come running. Yeah, I'll come running. Yeah, I'll come running. Here we go. That is the Nancy Atlas song, and again, you may think something's this throwaway song, and then some, like I said, I couldn't get enough of it, and it just became our favorite simple song to sing at the end of the night. And we'd sing, it'd be like, everybody now, thank God you're on the library circuit, because we'd be like, everybody now, let's play it again, let's play. You couldn't get enough of that. And you don't know why, as a listener and as a writer, why these things come out. They just do. And you feel good playing them, singing them, so forth. And maybe I will. Maybe after we have our lemonade break, we will. It'll be like, everybody now. We got to work up to it. We're in the library fellowship hall. We got to work up to it. So let's do this now, Penny. Let's do refreshments, and no more, no less than 7 minutes, and then we'll regroup. I hate intermissions because it always means people are going to leave. So Penny said that she took all the batteries out of your cars, and there's spikes in the library parking lot, so you're not leaving. I'm looking at you, sister. Don't be a bolter. I'm seeing you. You can't. You're gonna get that lemonade. I'm looking at you. Okay. You too. I can see trouble. So nobody's leaving. You got to get some lemonade, and we'll see you back for part 2. Okay, people, I just got the word. We're coming back. Refreshments are over. That was the last call. It's like, I'm telling you, Penny runs a tight ship.
I feel like I'm back in the day.
I think Penny runs a tighter ship than the if we could solve all the problem if Penny was at the helm. Woo! Yep.
tune. I know, this is a whole new, it's a whole new ergonomic situation. Here's what I thought we'd do. I thought we'd do this as we close out in part 2, play some songs that are a mixture of the both, because really what most often happens is that you'll be out in the field, you'll be on a tour, you'll be traveling, you'll be doing something, and then a lot of life happens, the filters, this and that, and then you're at your kitchen table, or you're at your study or your porch, and then the filter of that field experience is, honest to God, what's mixed in, and what I was going to say, honest to God, my favorite kinds of songs. It's just a mix. And I thought I picked a couple that we'd play here as we close out the lemonade situation. This seems geographical, but I think it was just just a device. It's easy. And what can I say about this being said? My mother had a couple of marriages she went through, God love her, starting in the 60s when that wasn't, you almost didn't even admit that you were having a divorce in the 60s, like you were, even to the 70s. And I do remember a story that she said she basically left Wyoming in the middle of the night with my father to go to California, the promised land. And years later, I was breaking up in a relationship, and I was driving from Arizona to California. And I thought, I couldn't pass this up. Like, I had to take that. It was just hitting me in the head that there's a song in that. So this is a song called Easy. Drive that truck in the middle of the night on to California. Doesn't make it easy, easy. You can leave your life in broad daylight and it's on to better days. It doesn't make it easy, easy. You can bless your mama and love your friends, but they don't know why and they will never understand. You can bless your mama and love your friends, but they don't know why and they will never understand. And I knew your touch would never fade, and I tried to shut it out. It doesn't make it easy. You can drive that truck in the middle of the night on to California. Doesn't make it easy, easy. Oh, you can bless your mama and love your friends, but you don't know why and they will never want to see it. You can bless your mama and love your friends, but they don't know why and they will never want to see it.
barometric pressure. And since you opened the lanai up, Penny knew that. This kind of worked out. I hope you're getting a breeze out there and it's not. Jeff Marshall wrote me this morning and said, you might want to wear shorts. I was always going to wear shorts. I've never played in shorts ever, probably unless it was a backyard gig. I can't get my jeans on right now. And anything. And he said, the weather feels like we're in Cambodia. And so when I saw some of you out there sitting, I was concerned. But you seem to be acclimatized. So there you go. What is it your parents used to say? You're going to cool the whole backyard, of course. That's good. And of course, we kids, we love that. It's like, absolutely, let's crank the air, right? Let's do this. I want to do another cover, and I think this is a good example of geography meets more of a reflection, static situation. This is a cover, the second cover. Since I've been down and out, I've been doing some YouTubing and catching up on videos and concerts. And one of my rabbit holes has been Lyle Lovett. And he's one of my favorites. Just think he's a class act. I think he writes great songs, and I don't think we have artists. We just don't see artists this day and age who are nurtured like he was, just to keep doing great work after great work after great work. And I love this song because I think it bridges the world where I came from. At the break, we were talking about Casper's a long way from here, and it is, culturally, mileage-wise. This is why I think this is always the perfect song for out here, because it bridges the two worlds geographically. But I just can't say enough good things about Lyle Lovett. And so I was watching this interview that he did talking about this song, and he said it's always been one of his favorites because it just talked about imagination and possibility. And it's off the Pontiac record, and I think it's the second record he did with MCA. I don't know if you follow him or you're aware of Lyle Lovett. Everybody's aware of him, but he's just a class act. And this Pontiac record, he does a lot of duets with Emmylou Harris. It's so bared down. It's not really his big band era. It's so honest, so raw, and it's one of my, if the desert island question, I know I would have Pontiac in the, it's a great album, and I'd have that in the sleeve. It's just delicious. So I'm going to try here with my new ergonomics. Oh, I didn't think about that, Jeff. I'm going to tell you right now. I wasn't counting on that. No. I'm going to play If I Had a Boat. Let's see it. Let me get a vibe because I may fall. If I fall, just don't panic. Just be calm. And
I'll switch and I'll get you.
ABC, always be calm. Cause if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, well, I'd ride him on that boat. And we could hold together and go out on that ocean. Me up on my pony, on my boat. If I were Roy Rogers, I'd sure enough be single. I couldn't bring myself to marry an old dame. It'll just be me and Trigger. We go riding through them movies. We'd buy a boat and on the sea we'd sail. Cause if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, well, I'd ride him on that boat. We could hold together and go out on that ocean. Me up on my pony, on my boat. Mystery masked man was smart. He got himself a Tonto, and Tonto did the dirty work for free. And one day he got smart. One day he said, Kemosabe, said, kiss my ass, I bought a boat and I'm going off to sea. 'Cause if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, well, I'd ride him on my boat. We could hold together and go out on that ocean. Just me up on my pony, on my boat. If I were like lightning, shouldn't need no sneakers, 'cause I'd come and go whenever I would please. And I'd scare 'em by the shade tree, and I'd scare 'em by the light pole, and I would not scare my pony on my boat out on the sea. 'Cause if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on that boat. We could all together ride out on that ocean. Sing me up on my pony, on my boat. Just speed me up on my pony, on my boat. I love it. That's just it. You know, when you are down and out and you got your tablet or whatever, I've become that person that I go from one interview to the next song to the next. I'm wearing out the batteries on the tablets and the phone because you can't help it. And when you do have time on your hands, it is funny. You'd think that you were going to learn a new language or do something productive, and there I am watching YouTube videos. I'm just being honest, and I did have this list of these beautiful things. I was going to learn how to play the Bodhrán drum from Ireland. I was going to take special lessons on the guitar, and I was going to do some special work from the couch, thinking about the coming year and do some mapping. And I haven't done any of that. I just sit around with the tablet watching shows and Lyle Lovett concerts. And one thing I'll say from all that, whether it's a show or Lyle Lovett or whoever, I just get inspired and I just think, well, God, thank God they do those things. That's the one thing that hits me. It's like, thank God they make those music and those songs, and thank God they make those great TV shows and those movies. That does inspire me, because I don't know what we'd do if we didn't have concerts to go to and CDs to listen to. We'd be bereft. I mean, we'd absolutely be vacant. And you don't think about that because we don't buy so many CDs anymore. We don't have those relationships to albums that we had. And it's not just the young people. It's just we just tapped out on it. We don't go buy records and sit and listen all day. And so I don't really have a rally cry. I don't know what I'm going to say. Like, go rob a liquor store and get records. Yeah. It's just a note. I have a couple more. I know. What? Penny's not here. Okay. Okay, then I'll do this one. This is oh, shut up. You were supposed to drug her in the hallway and distract her and put something in the water fountain so I could do a couple more. That was your job.
Go.
Okay. Well, Penny's happy now. We got a plan because we're breaking the deal. But I'm going to do a couple more. This one's so very brand new. I don't even know how I'm going to pull this off. It's another example of
the geography, the field, coming back to distill it. I partially wrote this on a trip to Wyoming looking out a hotel window, but it could not be finished until I came home because I couldn't figure out what really was going on. And it's called What Happens, and here we go. That's the other thing about the West, it's constantly burning up. This time of year we have fire danger, that's the whole thing. It's a big part of our lives, just we don't have so much humidity. There's fire in the mountain, fire in the soul. It's a cloudy day through the smoky haze. It's another day in a western town. I say what I want and I push that down. What happens on the road stays on the road. What happens on the road stays on that road. So it all comes down. I can hold up, race to the bottom of this endless empty cup. There's no resolve, no sleep for days, and the town kept burning down in the fiery haze. What happens on the road stays on the road. What happens on the road stays on the road. There's a world outside the window that I will never know. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. And I work today not like you. We'll never know. What happens on the road stays on the road. What happens on the road stays. There's fire on the mountain, so much fire in the soul. I can see it in your face, and you can write how this will end. Yes, it's another day in this sleepy western town where we think the sun will rise again and never let us down. 2, 3, there's a world outside the window that I will never know. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. We will never know what happens on the road stays on that road. There's a world outside the window I will never know. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. We will never know what happens on the road stays on the road. What happens on the road stays on the road. What happens on the road? Here we go. Stays on the road. Stay. Maybe. We're working on that. Get it down. I'm almost thinking about dropping it a step 2 and doing it more in A minor, where it's like. And then it kind of goes flip sounds. I don't know. I'm working with it this summer. I know, because then it's a different vibe. And so that's what I'm doing this summer. We're really working on the new record. And the new record's not so much about going, the studio's one part, but just what are these songs, what's happening, what's the story. It's such a pain, it's such a birthing process to make one of these projects, and just to get it off the ground. So this summer's just been kind of playing with different ideas, playing with the clay just to see what works. And we'll be making some noise about it next year or so, and Penny, maybe we can talk you back. We have a little program where we come back and.
No, you're coming back next summer.
Oh, is that okay? We're coming. This is awesome. Thank you. We're gonna get that lemonade cranked.
That's right.
Get the AC going outside of the terrace. We're gonna get that lemonade and we're gonna have a good party. I do want to play. Let's see here. I'm trying to think here. I'm axing out that you killed me on your opening. You said we were going to start at 6 sharp, and then you didn't. And
I know.
I know. So I'm trying to. You did, and I got it read to me like, you know, you have the right to remain silent. Read to me, and then she threw the whole game. I had this timed down to a stopwatch. Oh, it's a whole thing. So I'm gonna tune, and I know what we're gonna end with. I'm gonna tune up here. I throw the bathwater out just to get on the schedule now. And I think lemonade went to 8 minutes, and I'm not trying to call you out. I mean, I'm just saying.
Lemonade and more time.
She's wise to do that, because if you say 10, then it goes to 15. So the 7, it's a nice yogi number to have 7. I gotta tell you that I've never heard a 7-minute break announced ever. We're getting this. It's the barometric pressure. Let's see if I had to do one last song. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. This one's on the new record. This is called Free. It's got a little geography in there, but I feel like it's more of a not so much. It's a hybrid. It's a hybrid, kind of a static reflection on a geographical escapade. It's called Free, and it's been just a joy to spend this time with you, baby. And I was so worried about you people until I realized that the air was pumping out at you.
Good game.
You do remember that though, right? When you go off to college and you've been yelled at your whole life for opening the windows and the doors at home, and you go to college and they crank that heat so much, and you open that window and you're under your comforter, and you just think it's the greatest thing ever. That somebody else is paying the heat bill, and it's so hot because there's one central boiler for the whole building, and there's nothing like the snow coming down and the heat's cranking and nobody's yelling at you. And never to be repeated, because if you spend the rest of your life screaming at everybody to shut the windows and the doors, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Listen, I spent a lot of time in Arizona, and my mother said the first thing she'd do in a hotel is turn the AC down past 80. Because in Arizona, they all keep it at 80 so the bill doesn't go haywire.
Which is cool.
Oh, 80 doesn't even cut it. We'd go down to the hotel, she'd turn down to 60, and she'd say, Inda, this is my time. This is a vacation to me. I'm turning that thermostat down to 60 and nobody's telling me. I said, okay. So you people on the terrace, you're getting that benefit, that cold air. I like it.
Woke up in the valley of the shadow of death, but I fear no evil. For thou art not with me, and I am free. 'Cause I'm free to roam, I'm free to go, to spread my wings, to be free. Tucson, where I met you by plane. It's a whirlwind, it's a daydream sometimes. Everything ends up in pain. But thou art not with me, and I am free. 'Cause I'm free to roam, I'm free to go, to spread my wings, to be club all night, and we are filled with the Spirit. And we would love to sing with Inda because it'd just be the right thing to do. And it's late, it's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and we have been partying all night. That's what we've been doing. And you know what? Half drunk is a waste of money. And you're not mowing your lawn, and church is not tomorrow, and you can call in late. That's what I want you just to kind of feel. We are not a library program at 7:30 on lemon water. That's not the vibe. Not that that's a bad vibe, Kenny. That's not the vibe I would paint. They're not dancing all night. It's been a while, okay? Right? I like the tribal drums on that. Very tribal. Right? Your part would be like this. You go. You've been partying all night. You are so inspired. And you're going to go. Oh, 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 oh. Honest to God, it's true. We make ourselves accountable. I know you would love it. I guess we're coming back next week. It's like, oh God, no! No, it isn't. 7 minutes, no! I go back next week. Next year.
Thank you, and thank you, Jeff. This was just a fantastic. Thank you all for coming. Same time next year. We haven't set the date, but we've agreed on it. So
you'll probably call me tomorrow. Penny will be like, I know we just did this last night, but let's agree on a date.
I'm there. I am there. Okay, thank you all for coming. Have a nice week.